Hi everyone, I'm your host Sam Abraham, and this is Rhetoric Roar, a video podcast here at Penn State focused on all things related to rhetoric, conversation, and argumentative speech. In today's episode, I'll be focusing on the three branches of rhetoric established by Aristotle, known as epideictic, forensic, and deliberative rhetoric. Now, all the way back in the 4th century BC, the ancient philosopher Aristotle contributed theoretical principles that are still highly regarded to this day. Among his work during this time, he determined that all of rhetoric can fall under three categories based on their distinctions. One of these major distinctions being what tense the rhetoric is used in. Let me explain. Epideictic rhetoric, for example, is speech or writing that praises or blames and is associated with the present. It derives from the always constant critiques over whether whatever is current is basically good or basically bad. Forensic rhetoric, on the other hand, is associated with the past, and it deals with determining the guilt or the innocence of a person or group. Often referred to as judicial rhetoric as well, it can most notably be seen in modern times through a courtroom. Finally, deliberative rhetoric draws on feelings of uncertainty and therefore deals with the future. Deliberative rhetoric is done to provoke the audience into taking action and to raise concern among the audience about situations with implications of future consequences. The importance of these branches of rhetoric is certainly present. It was back in the ancient times when it was established. It was in the Renaissance, the Victorian era. It still is today in the modern era. These three categories remain prominent into understanding what rhetoric is. But you might be wondering how it applies to life. To fully understand the concept, let me give you concrete examples to which each type of rhetoric applies. I will give these examples within our college community, so it really hits home. For an understanding of epideictic rhetoric, let's refer to the popular and well-respected state college news publication, Onward State. Based on the trending stories and prominence of certain articles, the publication, which gains over 16 million views annually, amasses a large number of these views from their pieces on athletics, specifically their articles on football. Here we can see numerous articles predicting the outcomes of games, reviewing games, giving report cards about games, and these are all prime examples of the praise and blame rhetoric here in our community. It in turn shapes how we view objects and subjects, how we praise and or blame them. Now, as previously stated, forensic rhetoric can most easily be seen in a courtroom. But according to researchers Liney Galliot and Michelle Ebel, outside of a courtroom, judicial rhetoric is displayed by anyone justifying past actions or decisions. So, in our community, this can be referenced through our Office of Student Conduct, for example. When dealing with cases of sexual, academic, and general misconduct, the university has a structured process in which all parties involved can justify and clear their actions, utilizing forensic rhetoric. Finally, there's deliberative rhetoric. This would include a myriad of things that we see on campus, such as clubs encouraging new members to join, research studies looking for subjects, and the university encouraging its students to partake in upcoming events. All of these things deal with taking action and provoke the audience to decide whether or not they should be involved. Now, we've reached our final segment in the show, One Last Roar, in which I propose a question and determine an overall conclusion about the fundamental basis of what we've talked about today. I'll substantiate my claim with what we've learned. So, I think the major question today is, what type of rhetoric is most crucial to the fabric of our college community? This is an open to interpretation question. You might have your own answer, and your friend may have another. But I believe, with what we have learned, that the answer is deliberative rhetoric. Because we are in the most formative years of our lives, the feeling of uncertainty and endless possibilities runs at an all-time high. And this is where deliberative rhetoric thrives, calling action to make the uncertain more certain. I hope you take something away from this, and I hope that you've learned a little bit more about rhetoric today. Tune in next time to hear from our guest speakers, rhetoric experts Nikki Orth and Jeremy Engels. Thanks for watching.